Good afternoon. It is a rainy day, but we are here on Tony's Tangent to talk about a subject that is a little near and dear to me. And here he is, Tony Brown.
What's going on, y'all? Once again, you could have been anywhere in the world cooning, doing something you don't have no business doing, but you chose to show up today and have a good Q&A session with us here today. Can't wait to get into it.
We're going to talk about liberation and can it be multiracial?
Okay.
Why is it problematic for blacks to move in one direction?
It is problematic because we continuously put out a narrative of being told that we're not a monolith. No crap. No group and no organization, no group of people are a monolith. But there are some things that every group must have in order to be a competitive group with folks who are continuously exploiting them. Economics, control of the politics, some forms of code of ethics that govern and make sure you keep the cohesion of the group together. And without that, you're not really a competitive group. Everything else you can throw away and you can fight for another day, but those need to be at the top of the list. And because we have yet to put that at the top of the list wholesale, then we don't have any traction, we don't get anywhere.
Can there be an agenda established that will set ground rules for how all parties are involved?
I think so. I think, for example, let's take Jacksonville and the demographic of Jacksonville. I think if you would ask anybody on the north side or on 103rd exactly what they want, they would say they want, economic development. They would want for their kids to be in a better place. They want better employment, so forth and so on. I think what is the divider is the fact that you got white folks and black folks. But at the end of the day, when you really peel back the layers, we have more in common that we do things that we don't have a lot in common with. So at the end of the day, I want to put this out as a disclaimer for the 1% that's controlling everybody, white and black folks. When we get on the same page and say we want better for each other, then you can get more traction from a multicultural universal standpoint. But because white folks feel that they're better because they're white and black folks are ignorant altogether in terms of how they move, you're not going to get any traction going on in that regard. So we continue to divide ourselves, but at the end of the day, we still struggling while people like Bezos makes all the damn money during the COVID-19 crisis.
Do we have any examples of non-blacks working together for the good of all parties?
Well, we do. I'm going to go in history a little bit. Of course, the John Brown raid, which I'm a fan of, had a multicultural group that he led into Harper's Ferry, Virginia, during slavery to liberate black folks in that area. Also, we can use the examples of the Seminole Wars, 3 iterations of them, right here in Jacksonville, where some of that took place, non-blacks and so-called native tribes working together to maintain their way of life. Also, when you look at the civil rights movement, you have white, Jews, blacks, non-black folks working together for civil rights. Of course, the Black Panthers, whether it's in Oakland or whether it's in Chicago with Fred Hampton, was a coalition of non-black people working together, particularly from a socioeconomic status. So it can be done. The problem is it's not sustaining. And there are too often people that come in and manipulate for whatever their agenda is to break up these coalitions. But again, if there are some ground rules that are set prior to that, we can maintain us moving forward in that momentum.
Do you think a movement has to be multicultural in order to be successful and effective?
I think it should be taken into consideration because of where we're at today. We're not really integrated, but by law, we're integrated. Meaning to say that we deal with a lot of different people from a lot of different backgrounds. And until, again, black folks have that level of organization and solidarity, I don't think personally they can maintain an organization, particularly with all of the coons and all of the sellouts in their ranks. I would make the argument that you need to line yourself with people, man, who are like-minded regardless of their color. You can get more traction going that way in hopes that the rest of the people will come your way.
Do you have any reference material that you want to cite for this topic?
I don't have any reference material. I would tell you to go out and just interact with people, interact with your organizations, and see what I'm saying to be truth and see what I'm saying to be a lie. We are in a point right now, we don't have the time or the luxury to be sitting up here and saying these group of people need to move this way, these group of people need to move this way. If you're sincerely willing to work and you're concerned about people moving forward, you would take everything into consideration.
So with a city the size of Jacksonville, as far as land-wise, how do we get groups together?
I don't think we need to think that way. I think we need to think in small groups in terms of linking ourselves and coming together with like-minded people. You know, the first thing you can do is yourself first, exactly what you want, and then hook up with somebody that's like-minded. Start small, start at a small house, and then work your way out to form a big conglomerate. You can't start off and eat the whole pie at the same time. You have to take a small piece of it first.
All right, that makes sense, Tony. Thank you.
Appreciate it. And of course, if you want to organize and you want to do the work, please reach out to my email address, which is tb7787@yahoo.com. Also, of course, you can reach out to me via Facebook. And be on the lookout for my YouTube page too. It's going to be hot. You can interact with us the whole nine. So until the next time, do your thing, be black, and I'm out.